Well, good morning. It's 6:46 on this Friday morning. I'm Nick Wilson, and let's check in with meteorologist Ethan Foreman for our forecast.
Thanks, Nick. We see some clearing this morning actually taking place on our Blackbird Bend Casino camera as our sunrise is still a little over an hour away, but still a nice sunrise this morning nonetheless. And cold out there, but not quite as cold as we've been. Right now it's 16 degrees, the cold spot in Orange City, 19 in Lamar's and Cherokee, as well as down in Denison, 25, one of the warmer spots in Tacoma, where they had a little bit heavier snow yesterday. Also seeing some partially covered roads up into South Dakota, so make sure to give yourself some extra time as we see highs only climbing in the upper 20s for today with lots of clouds. More details on when we could see some more sunshine, that's in your full forecast.
Well, January is National Mentoring Month, and a Siouxland nonprofit is celebrating in a unique way. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Siouxland hit the slopes yesterday at Cone Park for their annual winter event. It provides a chance for bigs and littles to connect and enjoy some heart-pounding fun at the same time. One-to-one mentoring relationships are at the center of Big Brothers Big Sisters mission.
Oh, this is amazing, and this is one of our biggest events that we have here at Cone Park. So the kids and the big sisters and brothers love to come out, sled down the hill, ice skate, have a great time.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is looking for people to volunteer their time. They say there are still plenty of littles waiting to find their big. Well, elsewhere in Siouxland, stray cats have some folks in Dakota City concerned, so much so that city council members earlier this week got to hear about the overpopulation of the felines. Community members voiced their concerns, saying the problem became serious last year. The council and community are being asked to support a trap, neuter, and release program with the goal of controlling the unrestricted growth.
The population in the last 4 years has increased immensely from one little mother cat that had a couple litters, and then all of a sudden somebody started taking care of her, and now it's exploded to at least 100 in that area.
The program would be run by volunteers. 4 people have already agreed to dedicate their time if the city finds a way to help fund the effort. The issue will be addressed again on February 6th, beginning at 5 p.m. Well, speaking of cats, now it's time we meet today's Stray of the Day. Every day we share a pet picked up by Sioux City Animal Adoption and Rescue who's just waiting to go home. And this little fella here is Brittany, a 1 to 2 year old female domestic short hair calico cat. She was found on the 3400 block of Orleans Avenue just after Christmas. And if you look at that photo on your screen, you can see that Brittany has beautiful patches of white, orange, and black on her coat. The rescue says Brittany is a petite and sweet girl who's litter box trained, up to date on vaccinations, and will be getting spayed soon. Brittany is patiently waiting for someone to take her home, and she's available for adoption now. And if you've lost your pet, you're looking to adopt, or you'd like to sponsor a pet for adoption like Brittany, then you can visit the rescue's website. Go over to SiouxCityAnimalRescue.com. Now let's check in with meteorologist Ethan Foreman for our forecast. Is it good weather to take the pets outside, Ethan?
As long as they don't mind the cloudy conditions and the little bit of wind we could see, Nick, as we see some clear skies starting to take place this morning, but those clouds you'll see are going to filter back in pretty quickly later on this morning, seeing a lot of cloud cover for the rest of our Friday. Could see a little bit of partial clearing briefly tonight, but then some light snow showers or even a few sprinkles or patches of freezing drizzle will be possible as we head into Saturday night. The main system looks like it's going to stay to our north on Sunday as we see just some cloud cover across the region for our Sunday. Those snowfall amounts looking extremely light across the area, with many of us seeing nothing at all or just a few flurries. Could see a couple areas get anywhere between a tenth and maybe a quarter of an inch of snow, but it's not going to be much if we do see any at all. Your forecast for today shows a cloudier and cooler day with some flurries and a high of only 28 degrees. Those winds still going to be gusting, though, to as high as 25 miles per hour. And then we drop down to 15 tonight, cloudy and cooler across the area. We do see a little bit of a warming trend past the early part of next week, but we see that small snow chance on Sunday. Again, can't rule out a few flurries or sprinkles on Saturday, especially in our southern and eastern communities. We do see more sunshine up here early next week, but those overnight lows are pretty cold, only in the single digits with highs in the 20s. We do see a nice warm up, though, later next week with no big snowstorms anytime soon. We do see a cool down, though, as we head into next weekend, and we see temperatures actually back in the teens for highs by Sunday and especially Monday. That Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Well, now we turn to sports, where sports director Anthony Mitchell is taking a look at one Musketeers forward who's put himself among a list of elite hockey players. Plus all the details about the new additions to the Siouxland Conference, all right here in your morning sports wrap.
Good morning, Siouxland. Just 5 months ago, a handful of Northwest Iowa high schools were in search of a new home following the breakup of the Lakes Conference. The solution, for now, has been found placing those schools into the Siouxland Conference. The news coming earlier yesterday in a joint press release from Spencer, Storm Lake, Cherokee, and Esterville Lincoln Central, announcing the quartet of Northwest Iowa schools have accepted an invite to join the Siouxland Conference effective the 2026-27 academic year. The 4 districts will officially be a part of the conference on August 1st of 2026. Siouxland Conference officials approved the invitation on December 17th, and all 4 of those schools have accepted the invite. That is according to the press release. The 4 mentioned Lakes Conference schools not the only ones set to join the Siouxland Conference. Former Lakes Conference member Spirit Lake will enter the mix, as well as Western Christian, who has played at sports as an independent. Currently, the Wolfpack just one of 8 schools in the entire state that are not in a conference, adding a grand total of 6 new schools. The Siouxland Conference will rely to a, quote, super conference of 16 schools. The Siouxland Conference currently features Boynton Hole, Central Lyon, MOC Floyd Valley, Okoboji, Rock Valley, Sheldon, Sibley Cheatham, Sioux Center, Unity Christian, and West Lyon. The Sioux City Musketeers will be adding some reinforcements back to its lineup following the conclusion of the 2025 IIHF World Juniors Championships, including a forward that turned some heads on the big stage. That would be Musketeers forward Oliver Mernix, who is back in Sioux City following a tremendous tournament representing his home nation of Latvia. The 16-year-old forward scored 1 goal and tallied 3 assists in 5 games for Latvia at the World Junior Championships, playing a part in Latvia's upset over top-ranked and host Canada. An experience Mernix is thankful for and one he hopes to build off of as he returns to the Musketeers.
It's an honor, especially at such a young age, to be at the World Juniors playing against that level. It felt amazing. It's especially the coaches, they trusted me a lot, played me on the first line, so it felt amazing.
I mean, obviously just couldn't be happier for his individual success, and it says a ton about the type of player he is, the impact that he makes on our team, the impact that he's going to have moving forward here in the second half, and his long-term future. He's passionate about the game. He's passionate about improvement, and we all believe that's a player that we're going to be able to watch on TV for many, many years.
Mernix joins an elite list of 16-year-old players who have scored at least 4 points at the World Juniors Tournament this century. Chicago Blackhawks first overall pick Connor Bedard tallied 8 points in 7 games with Canada during the 2021-22 year. Future Hall of Famer and Stanley Cup champion Sidney Crosby notched 5 points in 6 games with Canada, while 3-time NHL MVP Connor McDavid had an identical stat line as Mernix, but in 7 games. Mernix and the Musketeers return to action tonight on the road at Cedar Rapids. And that'll be all for sports. Have a good day, Siouxland.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Now let's take a look at this morning's top stories, what you need to know before you go. Well, Iowans will now have to fork over more money from their wallets this year as vehicle registration prices are set to rise. A new law that went into effect last week has changed the cost to apply for new titles, registrations, and security notations from $20 to $30. Now, in addition to these changes, you can now get a title and register a vehicle at any county in the state. In the past, you could only do that in the county you live in or one close to you. And depending on what county you live in, the applications could take up to a month, but others could have shorter wait times. In the long run, Iowa DOT says the new title changes will actually make the lives of Iowans a little easier.
As far as customers, I think they will see a benefit from it because it won't take as long for them to get in for transactions. So they can get duplicate replacement titles faster. They can, title and register their vehicle. They could sell their vehicle to somebody and that person could get in.
If you want to learn more about these new title and registration changes, visit the Iowa DOT website. Well, Iowans are not the only ones facing vehicle changes in the new year. South Dakotans may face longer wait times when they go to renew their license plate tags. And that's because the state is switching to a new software that's intended to streamline the process starting February 17th. And customers may want to renew their tags as early as possible due to the steep learning curve involved for the staff. The Treasurer's Office says it may take 2 to 3 months for staff to get accustomed to the new program. And in other news, 20 small businesses in Iowa, including 3 here in Siouxland, have been granted over $275,000 from the state. Governor Kim Reynolds and the Iowa Economic Development Authority announced those awards yesterday. Now, the funding comes through the Empower Rural Iowa initiative. That helps businesses continue to profit, grow, and provide good-paying jobs for employees. This year's grant focused on rural grocery stores and food producers. So here in Siouxland, Food, Land, and Woodbine was awarded $25,000 for electronic shelf tags. Woods Supermarket in Pocahontas also got $25,000 for electronic shelf tags. And Super High Tech in Sheldon received $5,000 to expand its IT services. Applications for the grant open back up in September. Now let's check with Ethan for a final look at our forecast.
Thanks, Nick. A cloudy and cooler day with some flurries and gusty winds up to 25 miles per hour and a high of 28, dropping down to 15 tonight as we see another cloudier and cooler night. Sticking with those clouds this weekend, a small chance of snow coming our way as we head into Sunday. Some clearing taking place into early next week, but a cold start, a nice warm up by the time we get to Thursday and Friday. However, a big sharp cool down by the time we get to next Saturday. Have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.
All right, well, thanks for watching and come back again at 11:30. In the meantime, keep an eye on our website for all the latest updates in news, weather, and sports. Have a great rest of your morning.